All right. Good morning. Welcome back to the Accelerate podcast that we're working on. This is our second episode. So we're excited. We're working out the kinks. We're getting things done as far as bringing what our story is, what our mission is to get out there and let people know what we're doing. My name is Charles Woodruff. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Accelerate. We're here in our headquarters studio, putting this all together today. Um, if you don't know Accelerate's been a program we've been running for about 3 years now. And our main focus and goal is to get youth 14 to 24 years old into the automotive industry. So that's how we're doing it. So far, we've been working with excellent partners. We have an awesome team that's come together. We have law enforcement officers, automotive industry leaders, foundations, community organizations that are all coming together and helping us with this mission to be able to, again, get kids, youth into automotive careers. So, with that, we want to continue with this podcast. We want to continue being able to push the message out and also be able to talk to some of the leaders, talk to some of the people that are helping us, and be able to get their views and insights on how we can actually accomplish this overall goal. So, with that, let me just get a little drink here from my Send It cup from our buddy Jared. Thank you, sir. Um, with that, we have a very special guest. He came to us a couple years ago. We met, and it's just hit off really well. Paul Ekstrand, he's got several different hats. He'll be able to talk about those now. But the one we're looking at, the one we really are really close to our heart, is he's our executive director on our program. So with that, let's bring on Paul Ekstrand. Sir, how you doing?
Woody, how are you?
Good. On
Good.
this fine morning that we finally, I think the rain's finally
Oh, there's a
stopping.
break. There's some sun peeking through the windows. There we go. Yeah.
Hopefully we're done. Hopefully we're all into car show season, and all
Yep.
that's going to start happening.
Yep. Didn't
Um,
mind the free water, but that was a lot of free water. So there you go.
yes, and we needed it.
We did,
But
as usual. Yeah.
so let's talk about stories. Let's
Sure.
let's let's kind of let's talk about you.
Oh,
I kind of mentioned about the whole idea that, or the whole thing, that you have several different hats, but
sure.
let's take it back. You're an owner and founder of Enthusiast Web Solutions.
That's right. Or otherwise known as Enthusiast Inc. Yeah.
And how long is 20?
23 years now.
Wow,
We got
23
into
years.
websites really early. I sold my, I think I actually sold my first website in 1997. Just pretty crazy. So it was way back, and that was automotive too. So it was we were getting in pretty early.
And what format was in 97? I can't even
Oh,
remember.
so we used a programming language that is hanging on by a thread probably right now called Cold Fusion.
Gold Fusion?
Yeah, Cold Fusion. That was um, before PHP took off, and then then the CMS platforms came in. But we actually created our own content management system, which is known as a CMS, like your WordPress or Wix or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We created our own going back to late 1999. So we got into that game a bit early because I was selling websites for another agency, and the first the CMS I saw was from my business partner Jonathan Watson, probably in '98. He had his own Lord of the Rings website, Tolkien Online, I think it was. And he showed me that he could have people on the film sets in New Zealand uploading news articles for him. I thought, oh my gosh, my clients have to have this, because all back then you had to code everything. So that was the beginning of content management systems, and we were right in the beginning of that as well. And we did a lot of cool sites that way. In the beginning, they were a lot more money than they are now, but we've kind of transitioned over the years to be kind of heavy WordPress and other Shopify and other platforms as well. just to help our clients with whatever they need at the end of the day. So
That's awesome. And
yeah.
I know every time we talk, I think you always bring up another company. What are some of the companies you've been able to work with over the years?
Well, our first website for enthusiasts was Klaus Ennensberger of CEC Wheels. We worked with Lucas Oil for a while. We work with Enios Oil right now. We've done a lot of e-commerce. There's a few. There's Elevate, which is a Volvo tuning brand that we work on. IE Motorsport for old BMWs. F2 Suspension is a client of ours right now. There's a bunch of them, but a lot of those came through kind of agency partners too, like ID Agency with Victor Carrillo and that sort of thing. So we've always done worked with agencies, and we worked with clients directly as well. But we've done a lot of nonprofit work, a lot of work in the construction industry, things of that nature too.
Awesome. And then one of your other hats, one of your other big important hats, past president. Well, actually, a Rotary Club LA5 member, but also a past president. You were the
Yeah,
president last year.
I was. Yeah, I was president of LA5 Rotary, or otherwise known as the Rotary Club of Los Angeles. It's a 114-year-old club now. So
Wow.
it's a legacy club. It's a big club in Los Angeles, and we're known for helping foster kids through our children's court committee and our scholarships, 4-year scholarships. And then last year, I started a vocational trade scholarship program, and that's really where we connected on Accelerate. And
Right.
it's a good story of how we did that. So
Yeah, definitely we're going to get into that
yeah.
as far as kind of ideas on that and stuff. But
Mhm.
um, what are some of the things that the Rotary? I know you guys are. Every time I talk to you again, it's one of those deals where we have this event, that event. You guys have the children's court.
Yes, the children's court committee. LA5 was a fundamental underwriter of the Children's Court in Alhambra. And for those who don't know what that is a court for children who are going through adoption processes. They're going to court to figure out, you know, um, oh shoot, what I'm losing it right here. To figure out, which parent they're going to be end up living with through a divorce, those sorts of things. When you went into when a child goes into a typical courtroom, the judge is up high. It's an intimidating looking place, as you might know. Woody is a former
Yes,
sergeant. It
yes,
can be very intimidating for children. So what they've done in Alhambra is they created, I think, the world's first children's court, where there's play areas, there's playgrounds, there's areas where they can hang out. Usually they have teddy bears and things of that for the little kids, to make them feel more comfortable when they got to go into a courtroom and figure out, their adoption or which parent they're going to be living with and that sort of thing, which can be very intimidating. So they brought everything down to kind of a children's level. And one of the special things we've done over there is, as we've been involved with National Adoption Day too, which is pretty touching when you go there and see all the kids, including now kids are 18, 19 years old, getting adopted by families. So it's a pretty moving thing. So through that committee, we also do grants to help foster kids pay for this, that, and the other thing as they're going through high school. So we're pretty famous for that. And then on the other side of that, we do 4-year scholarships as well. And that's a big. We should give about $250,000 a year out in 4-year scholarships,
hmm
uh, to 10, 25 high schoolers per year going, and they're getting full rides into amazing schools, Ivy League schools, USC, UCLA, um, uh, UC Davis, whatever, UC Berkeley, all pretty major schools, and they're coming from situations. We talk about at-risk youth and that sort of thing. They're coming. They have amazing stories of how they persevered through their childhood to get to the next level. But through
Yeah,
that, we also know not all the kids are going to go to 4 universities, and that's why I wanted to start the vocational trade scholarship program.
yes. That definitely an amazing progress or kind of thing that you guys are putting on, and it's amazing when you see the kids at the end and they're at the event last year and they're all smiling and they're receiving funds to be able to help them get into the next step, which
Absolutely.
sometimes they didn't think any of that was even possible.
That's
So
right.
definitely love that. That's I kind of tell everybody that's kind of like the main reason why we do all these things. It's that you see that outcome, and it just continues to power you to do the next thing. Um, going
So
into oh, go ahead.
yeah, so very true. I said, yeah.
Uh, so going into the whole vocational scholarships, I know we've had many discussions.
Yes.
Let's take it back to just the idea behind vocational,
Sure.
as opposed to 4-year college, which is something that's a very big topic. Which way to go, which way to do things. What's some of your kind of insight as far as growing up and seeing what you saw and what you did?
Sure. Sure. Well, I grew up in North Diamond Bar. I went to public schools, and I went to the cheapest private school we could find, Western Christian out in Covina, growing up. And part of that was, I was part of the generation that we still had shop classes left when I was in public school. So we had wood shop, metal shop. Um, a few schools had auto shops, not our high school, but there were some things that for people like me, and I'm one of the kids that wasn't really ready for a 4-year university right out of high school.
Mhm.
So I knew there was a lot of us that were probably, we went to junior college maybe, or community college. We might have gone to work right away. We took different career paths than those that were really ready to go to 4-year universities. And some of us have become pretty successful taking different routes. What we noticed was, there's a definitely that when they started taking the trades out of high school, I thought that was a big mistake. And part of, I think there was a lot of kids that weren't ready to go to, they weren't ready to take the traditional route, because the 4-year push was pretty heavy at that time, and even now.
Right.
um, so going back to, that's kind of where my background is, as far as seeing the need for that, was, well, how are we going to get help kids get into the right career paths. So when I took a look at taking a look at myself and kind of the need for skilled labor out in the workforce right now, the lack thereof is what I'm alluding to. There's a lot
Mhm.
of companies looking for skilled labor, right? So what we did is, I figured out I'm going to every year at LA5 we have a President's Project. So I wanted to take advantage of the President's Project and restart a vocational trade scholarship program through LA5 Rotary, where we could help kids that are really trying to get into different vocational trade careers, not for university driven careers, help them with some supplemental money that they might need to get to that next step. So that's really the goal of the scholarship program, is the vocational trade scholarship program, that is really to prepare low income youth and adults for skilled labor force jobs that contribute to our local economy in Los Angeles. So that's what we really, that was kind of the impetus of that. I'd also met with some educators in the past that had alluded to the devaluation of a 4-year degree, and they were calling for more specific degrees to get people to work. And I think all of those things kind of coming together made it possible for us to start a vocational trades scholarship program, which got can't it basically, what happened was, it actually was seen as a very positive thing with our club straight away. So I was happy to see that, and we have a lot of momentum going with it right now.
Yeah, I remember when we were putting it together last, or it was last year, the year before, we were at the Peterson, and you
Hmm.
brought some of the other members, and it just kind of starts opening their eyes that there's more out there.
Yeah.
There's talented, kids that, like you said, maybe 4-year college isn't their path, but yet they can get behind a motor, they can get behind, they can become a refrigerator repair, roofing, construction. I mean, there's just so many different jobs out there
True.
that they can make a really great living at. Um, but it feels like a lot of times in school, it's almost like pushed to 4 year college. And if you're thinking about these kind of paths, that's always kind of like the lower level type of thing. So it was really fun to be a part of that last year. I think how
Well,
much did
yeah,
you?
I want to mention on that note, when you when you start a scholarship program like this one, the first question is, well, how are you going to do it, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And when I brought Josh Mandel, who runs the 4 year scholarships for LA5 Rotary, out to the Peterson to watch you guys. And by the way, we were introduced by Victor Carrillo, with that's on the Accelerate team as well. Um, when I went to him first and said, here's what I'm thinking about doing, he loved it, and he's like, you got to meet Woody, and you got to meet Woody and DJ with Accelerate. And that was kind of the beginning of like, how are we going to do it discussions,
Hmm.
which you helped a lot. So we go out to the Peterson. What we noticed right away was, with the 4 year scholarships, we have high school counselors and different folks, kind of feeding us a bunch of applications and people they would recommend for 4 year scholarships. To start vocational trade scholarships right away, well, where are we going to find, where are we going to find the folks that are actually working with the young adults that we want to help out, right? So when we went out to the Peterson and watched you guys interacting, um, with the kids that day, that's the one thing Josh noticed right away was, okay, they actually have a line of communication. They're actually working with the kids, boots on the ground, that we want to help, and that's a big deal. So we did that. We took that model, and we decided to work with, obviously, with you guys straight away to see who we could help with some scholarships, people going into automotive careers. We worked with other organizations as well, that are doing after school programs. Like Exploring does law enforcement,
Hmm.
firefighting, sciences. Worked with Junior Achievement Southern California, that helps kids with life skills after school. They place kids. We gave out 65 scholarships last year with all these different organizations. We even worked with, Defy Ventures, which was male adults coming out of prison, but they're job ready through their program. We helped them with some scholarships as well. So we kind of bent the rules a little bit, not just the age groups that we thought we were going to hit, 17 to 26, but we bent them a little bit more, just to say, all right, if we can help good adults get into their next step of their careers, let's go ahead and do that. So we worked with different organizations like that. We're going to work with a few more this year too, that we're pretty excited about, um, to help people get job placements in all sorts of different areas that are kind of vocational trade related, not for your traditional jobs. And of
Right.
course, automotive will play into that again as well.
Yep. Yeah, that was. I said that was an amazing event. We did it
Mhm.
at the Auto Conduct
Yeah,
downtown
absolutely.
LA. We ended up having a helicopter, and the SWAT team was there, and I mean, it was just a great group of people to come together. Everybody had a smile. But it's that one look when you see the kids, when you see these people getting these scholarships, that they almost have that look like they didn't realize anybody was out there that really cared.
A really good point.
And it's like a shocking look on their face, that wow, someone does care and wants to help me, get into my next level.
So true.
So
Yeah.
de- definitely something that we could build on. I think you said you gave out 65, but it was almost 60 or $70,000 worth
Yeah,
in your first year.
67,000 to 65. Yeah,
In your
recipients last
first year.
year. Yeah.
So
We're looking at, probably duplicating that effort this year as well.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then of course that team starts to grow,
Yes.
and hopefully as years go on, we're going to grow that particular program
Hmm.
to be able to get more funds out there. But as us together, obviously we're working on those pathways. We're working on that funnel of where the students are, where maybe they're not getting that help or that support,
Yep.
getting them into the system, and then getting them into these pathways and ways to help them get into careers and stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge, I think that's really one of the main ways we can impact our local economy. And really, I mean, you might be able to speak to it too. I mean, we're talking about, there's a lot of young adults that would be way better at work than on the streets, right? So, I mean, we're talking about crime rate and everything else through helping improve people's lives by getting them to work at the end of
Yep.
the. And I think that's really the gem kind of behind the whole thing. Is like there are a lot of people that could really benefit from these types of scholarships and programs like Accelerate. You know,
Yep.
helping them figure out how to improve their lives through work is a pretty special thing, and a
Yep.
really good way to break
Definitely.
down, even different stereotypes and those sorts of things of who you work with. When you work with people, there's a whole different respect level, right? When you work together to help improve people's lives. So,
Yep. And so with that,
yeah,
we're doing it again, right?
we are.
When is that going to happen? What do we got in the plans?
Well, the plans are we have the applications out right now. We need those in by April 30th is the goal. We're going to review the applications. A lot of them will become recommended applications from the different partners that we have. And then what we'll do is we'll figure out who the recipients are, notify them. Then we're going to do a celebration, a scholarship celebration event, probably on June 10th. Um, and we're trying to nail down the final details of that. So we'll announce that down the road here.
And you said June 10th. That's the event itself.
That'd be the scholarship celebration event. Yeah, probably on a Saturday. Now that might change as well, so we're trying to nail down the date and the location and who's all going to be there because we'd love to bring all the recipients out or those who can make it out and celebrate them that day, hand them their checks if we're and then get them talk to them about where they're headed
Okay. And
in their careers.
so those students that are out there right now and they're looking, they want to help or they want to apply. I put up the website on the
Yep,
screen, so you got the Rotary LA5.org.
yep,
But if you're able, if you go onto it and you're not able to find where it's at on the site, in the video itself, we'll put the actual direct link right to where you could sign up for
that'd be great. Yeah.
the scholarships.
Yeah, it's
Um,
under service above self and then vocational scholarships. So, um,
awesome.
yeah, but yeah, if you put the link in there, it'd be even better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's been great. It's been awesome to work with you and learn from you and see the guidance that you have and the inspiration. So I know that's been a very big component for us, adding into our program and what we're doing. I know we have a very busy year coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So we have Formula Drift next weekend. So we're bringing out 60 students out to Formula Drift to enjoy the day, enjoy Friday, get a kind of a behind the scenes look. So those are always fun to watch. The kids' eyes get really big,
Oh, yeah.
and be able to experience and talk to the drivers, talk to the pit crew, talk to Formula Drift staff, and be able to see like what is out there. It's not just wrenching; it's a lot more career paths out there that are
Right.
involved.
Right.
And then that's going to lead us into the summer where we're going to be doing our Peterson museum class again, which is going to be a lot of fun. So I look forward to us putting this together, especially with the rest of our team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, you mentioned Victor Carrillo, who's a co-founder, and Derek Boykins from LAPD.
Yeah.
So we have some great team members to be able to put this together. So I look forward to
Absolutely.
it.
Well,
Uh,
I'm super proud to be a part of the team as well. And I fell in love with Accelerate as soon as we engaged on how do we do scholarships and that sort of thing. And what we do at Accelerate is very special. So, helping improve lives through helping young adults get into automotive careers. That's amazing.
yep. And if anyone out there is interested, just go to our website accelerateeducation.org. We'll have that up on the screen here. And let's see. There we go. So definitely just go to the website. We have if you want to sign up for our class, if you want to be a donor, you want to be a supporter, a volunteer, whatever it is, we have those locations on the website. So go ahead and click on that and see that. Um, and then also follow our social media. We got a good team together. You know, we're always trying to keep everybody up to date on things and what's happening. So go to our Accelerate LA, which is our Instagram, Facebook, and then also our YouTube channel. So we're building that out. So exciting stuff happening.
Absolutely.
So with that, I think that's it. That's a wrap for show number 2.
There you go. Thanks for having me on, man. This is fun.
Thanks for taking your time and joining us.
Yeah, yeah.
I know we have a lot more work to do,
Oh, yeah. A
but
lot more people to help too.
yes. So with that, it's Woody and signing off for the Accelerate podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.